Moving on, how well and how fast the U.S. economy recovers in large part depends on what happens here in Washington, D.C. in the next 10 days. Can the U.S. President and members of Congress reach a compromise to avoid the so-called fiscal cliff, or a package of $600 billion in tax hikes and spending cuts set to kick in on January 1st? And we're just getting reports that House Republicans have abruptly called off their vote on the fiscal cliff bill known as Plan B. Jessica Stone joins us, and Jessica, we'll talk a bit more about that a little bit later, but boy, it is a big setback. House Speaker John Boehner really put all his eggs in one basket. He can try and couch this any way he can. This is a huge defeat for him. It's a huge setback for him, and certainly it's going to lead people to question his authority in the House and moving forward on these measures to keep the Bush tax cuts going ahead for the most wealthy Americans in this country.
Well, and Sean, he was really trying to sell a package of tax cuts for millionaires, not for people that make $400,000, $700,000 a year. He couldn't sell that, and that does tell you a lot about how far apart the president and Congress are at this point. Meantime, middle-class families caught in the middle, and they are looking down the road at a possible tax hike of some $2,200 in income taxes alone, and that's a White House figure. There are other tax breaks, too, though, that are due to expire at the end of the year.
Blessed are you, Lord of all creation, in darkness and in the light. Blessed are you in this food and in our sharing.
Dinner time for the Roller family brings everyone together. But in just a few months, 18-year-old Matthew Roller will leave for college.
Right now, it's just getting us both to wrap our heads around what it's going to be like to balance the family budget and then also tack on the expense of college.
We are the typical middle-class family who you have two working parents and you got to juggle things.
I definitely want to study abroad though, so got to find which school has the best study abroad program.
The Rollers know they can't afford to pay for all of Matthew's education. He'll have to take out loans. The tightening U.S. economy has already forced them to cut back on travel and technology purchases.
I don't really think there is another place where we can trim the fat, if you will.
But without a deal between the U.S. Congress and the president, the Rollers will have to pay an estimated $2,000 or more in new income taxes.
Nobody wants to see the taxes raised on 25 million working families.
Other tax credits for college students and social programs will also expire, adding thousands more in new taxes. U.S. President Barack Obama visited a middle-class family in Virginia in early December to push Congress to prevent middle-class income tax hikes.
You know, for them to be burdened unnecessarily because Democrats and Republicans aren't coming together to solve this problem gives you a sense of the costs involved in very personal terms.
Back at the Rollers' home, looking at Matthew's college letters brings up a mixture of pride and frustration.
We haven't overextended ourselves with credit card debt and stuff like that, and even with that, we're still looking at cutting back and making sacrifices. So this new tax structure is going to hurt.
There's a lot you're going to have to sacrifice. I mean, you know, we enjoy going out to dinner as a family. You're probably going to have to really cut back on that a lot.
For the kingdom, the power and glory are yours now and forever. Amen.
Amen.
Making meals around the family dinner table, not just a time of fellowship, but a time of necessity.